good debt versus bad debt, because not all debt is bad. And many financial advisors you'll see on television, they'll say reduce your debt, reduce your debt, reduce your debt, and they are right. Basically, for most people, having a low amount of debt does make sense. But as you become more sophisticated and you want to start doing bigger things with your life, you can actually increase your debt to your amount of good debt in order to actually purchase assets which generate cash flow and actually increase your net worth. So for example, here's the definitions right here. So good debt has the potential to increase your net worth or enhance your life in an important way. Whereas bad debt, this involves borrowing money to purchase rapidly depreciating assets of consumption. For example, if you're racking up credit card bills to buy new shoes, cars, clothes, to buy a bigger house to live in, which you don't really need, you're living way, way, way above your means, then that is unfortunately bad debt. And what can happen is when situations change, if you lost your job or something crazy happened, then you could be left with mounting credit card bills and you could even go bankrupt. So that's bad debt, and you should really reduce that as much as possible. But there's also good debt, and this is the complete opposite situation. So good debt can actually be used to purchase assets. So for example, you can get a mortgage to buy a property. If you didn't get a mortgage to buy a property, chances are you're not going to be able to afford a property unless you have the amount of cash to be able to buy that property, which unfortunately most people these days do not. So you need to get a mortgage to buy a property. The idea of this is you're controlling a more valuable asset with a small down payment. For example, you may put down a 25% deposit if you're buying a buy-to-let property. In the UK, you put down 25% deposit and you're controlling an asset with 75% above that. So that's the amount of loan on the property. Another example of good debt could be education. So for example, if you take out a student loan, the idea of this is you're taking this loan out to fund your education to actually get you a better job in the future. Whether that pays off completely for some people is debatable, but it is classed as good debt. You could also say business ownership is good debt. So if you're investing into a business or just in general investing in the stock market, for example, you could use leverage. And if you look at various businesses, so businesses have an optimal debt ratio, and this depends on a variety of factors, including the stage of the company, the life cycle of the company. Age makes a big difference. If you're young, then you can afford to take on a little bit more good debt because you have that earning potential ahead of you in the future. Whereas if you're older and you actually have more responsibilities, more liabilities, you might have a family, you might have kids, you might have all these other responsibilities going on, then you may want to gradually reduce the amount of debt you have over time. And this is just a safer way of living. There is a good tip, and that's to reduce the amount of debt you have by 10% every 10 years. So you start with a 75% loan to value. Basically, you put down 25% deposit for an investment property, and you could reduce that to 50% loan to value when you're in your 50s, etc., 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 as you get older. And then from a personality side, it all depends on what you need to help you sleep at night. I know many sort of people in the older generation, and they really do hate mortgages. They want everything paid off and they want to live nice, safe and sound. But really, if you do want to grow in your life, you need to have a balance of good debt. Comment your thoughts below. Also, if you did find value in this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. That helps out tremendously with the channel. And if you guys haven't subscribed yet, feel free to join the investing family by hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on. And if you guys do want to know in real time exactly which stocks I'm personally buying, selling, and access my entire stock portfolio, the stocks and the story of how I grew my portfolio from $20,000 to over $250,000, and you also get to join a thriving community of some of the finest investors on the internet, then feel free to check out that first link in the description below for the VIP membership group. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have an incredible day, and I'll see you in my next video. Invest safe.